guys, welcome back to the farm. JC Mason here in my soap studio. A lot's been going on. Right now we have a lot of wind, but I want to show y'all how to make a tallow face butter. So good. I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I did a lot of research on tallow on the skin, the importance of getting grass-fed beef to render that suet into tallow, and there's a lot of great benefits to tallow. Is it for everyone? You have to test it out for yourself. But if you want to make it, I'm going to teach you how in this video. So I will link everything below, but this is the beef tallow that I got. If you are on a homestead, you have beef, you can get your butcher to put the suet in the bag for you, and you can render it down. It takes about 2 to 3 times to render it, and that's just heating that suet and straining off of that oil, letting it cool to become a disc, and then you do it again just to make sure, because there is no beef smell to this tallow. And that's what it looks like. So tallow is great for dry skin, eczema, even breakouts. It is helps an anti-inflammatory. The vitamins has A, D, K, E, and B12. It is very much like the skin components of our skin. So really great, and we're gonna measure out 16 ounces of this. It is actually absorbed really well in the skin, and like I said, it took me about, I would say, 9 months researching tallow and seeing the benefits. Was it a hype? Was it a fad? But actually, it is helping a lot of people. Now, of course, it's not vegan friendly because it has that, but just think the resource you have if you have your own beef, being able to market this on your farm, help support what you're doing on your homestead, and it is so simple. I will tell you that you want to choose oils that are going to go well with face. So I wouldn't recommend just putting this on your face. It's not going to harm it by any means, but it's hard. You want to kind of fluff it up. Now you could do a balm, which is fine as well, but this whipped tallow is great. So I'm doing 16 ounces of tallow and 4.8 ounces of a liquid oil. So that could be olive oil. Another good one for the face would be avocado oil, apricot oil, there's argan oil. There's a lot of oils in there, but you really want to pick something that is good for the face. When I do the body butter, I will be choosing different oils, and I'll show you what I have for this face butter. Something you can do to up your loveliness and anti-aging properties is calendula petals, and I infuse this in olive oil. Now I'll be using 2.8 ounces of this, and then I'll be using the other oils that I've picked for mine. I will also be using 2 other oils that I think are great for the face, which is apricot oil and also rose hip oil. So those are the 3 liquid oils I'm using. You can do 16 ounces of tallow, and you could do 4.8 ounces of olive oil. Make it simple, be done. But I would suggest that you add in vitamin E oil to help with making sure that your oils that you use aren't going to go rancid. Because this is an anhydrous body butter or face butter, you don't need to add a preservative. Anhydrous means it's without water, made without water. But vitamin E, it's not a preservative. It just helps with keeping the product from possibly going rancid. What you want to do is check the dates on your products you're using, and this says it expires the 7th of 2026. So typically, as long as you're practicing good, I like to alcohol everything down, and I will do that with my jars I put it in. I do that with my bowl, with my mixing, all my utensils, everything. gets wiped down with alcohol to make sure that no bacteria gets into your product. I would even suggest it if you're just making this for your family to extend the life of the products you make sure you're keeping your area clean and free from potential contaminants or bacteria getting in that could possibly spoil your creations. When I make a product that's a leave-on product, I have a lavender here that I'll be using with Wholesale Supply Plus, and also their tea tree oil. Those are the two oils I'm going to use. Now typically 3% of the weight that we're doing today, 3% is pretty good for leave-on products, but because it's the face, I'm going to take that down a little bit. So typically I'd put 0.48 ounces of essential oils, but I'm going to take it down a little bit. I'm going to make it very faint. You can even make it unscented if you wanted. You don't have to add the essential oils in. So 16 ounces. It's like butter. 16 on the dot. Oh my gosh, that's very rare to do that. All right, so now I'm going to set this in a double boiler. Basically, I just sit this down in a pan of water on my apparatus over there, and I'll melt it down low and slow. Now, upon heating your oils, your butters, whatever you're going to make, you notice I'm not putting my liquid oils in because I'm going to wait till my tallow cools down a little bit. Same thing with my essential oils, same thing with my vitamin E. I don't want to burn off any good properties that are in these oils, and low and slow is how to do it. Please, I see so many, you can do what you want, but I see so many makers, formulators, using the microwave. The microwave, I don't care how quick of a burst you do, it changes the molecular level of the product. And I can tell you, I believe it's in 1991, a nurse took in the hospital, she took a blood, and to try to heat it to save a patient really quick, she put it on for seconds in the microwave. As soon as that blood was infused, I'll link this below. It is a true story of what happened and what microwaves do. When they infused this lady with that blood that they heated in the microwave on a quick burst, she died. The blood was dead. There was nothing alive in that blood. So when they put that through her bloodstream, the body was like, that's it, I'm done. There's no life in this. So the same thing with our food, the same thing with what we're making. Please, please, please consider not using the microwave. Wipe this down with alcohol, and I'm gonna finish kind of organizing and cleaning my soap studio because I have a lot to do. I can't wait to show y'all my apothecary. I showed a little snippet of it, but I have a lot more botanicals and things to put in my jars, and I can actually see what, look and see what botanicals I want to use. So I do have quite a bit, but I'm going to get them put in jars. And some of the jars that I have are antique that my mom had, and it still has her handwriting on it, even though some say maple sugar and stuff. But anyway, so I try to stay busy. If you're at home and doing something, just keep an eye on your double boiler and look to see how it's melting down. I just want it to the point of being melted. Actually might leave this unscented because the calendula, that infused oil, the rose hip, I mean, it smells so clean and natural. I may just leave it unscented. We'll see. Once I get it all mixed together, we'll figure it out. Okay, now that I have my tallow pretty much melted down, and don't be alarmed, it might have, it's not gonna have a beefy scent as long as you've rendered it properly. Of course, this was a company that rendered it properly, non-GMO grass-fed beef. There is a slight scent of maybe French fries. So just to let you know that. Now, this is a little warm, so typically what I do with my body butters and my face butters is I will cover it and we'll let it sit and coagulate. But today, because I'm doing this video, I am going to put it in the refrigerator. I just will put it like this and cover it. I use a shower cap, an unused shower cap, as the cover. Let me show you. When I was out thrifting, there was a bunch of these in little boxes. And I was like, oh, I could definitely use these to cover my bowls. This will even fit my big, huge bowl. So the only thing I want to make sure is that there's no condensation going down into my oils. So this is actually a really good way to do it. You could put a piece of paper towel over top and then put this on top to help absorb anything, you know, that might drop. But these oils aren't that hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and we'll be back. So I changed areas over to this side because this is where my electric is run. I'm still working on fixing up this area to where I can run electric over there and do my soaps over here and my lotions and body butters over there. That will be great. I did end up sticking this in the freezer. It was right at 94 degrees when like I said, slow and low heat. And when I temped it, it was before I put it in the refrigerator and then the freezer, it was 94 degrees. So I'm gonna scrape the edges down. You can also, I'm just gonna see if I can get it off the edges so I can whip it. You can also hit it really quick, the side, with a heat gun, just to make sure everything's clean and off the edges. I've done that before as well. But because this is just beef tallow and not my typical body butter, which has beeswax and shea butter and kokum butter and coconut oil, and those things can get a little grainy sometimes. Gotta use shea butter as well. But this is coming off of the sides really nicely, and look at that. Oh, I can't wait to make soap with this. That's next. So be sure to subscribe because I'm gonna make 3 soaps, 15 pounds. I'm gonna show you how to do it like a tutorial, but for you it would be the purple molds that I did a soap tutorial on as well. So let's start whipping this up. I'm excited to see how this goes, and then I'm going to add my other oils and try to figure out if I'm gonna end up doing an essential oil or not. The best way I found to get these in the little jars is just a long cup with a wide mouth and a gallon size Ziploc baggie. And then you're going to take your whipped tallow. And again, you don't even have to whip this. You could do it just by mixing everything and pouring it into your jars. Totally could do that. It doesn't have to be whipped, but the light consistency of whipped gives that luxurious feel, and with that little bit of arrowroot, it's not greasy at all. Let me get my scissors. I wonder if I could fit the rest in there. I might try to fit the rest in there. I'm gonna get my scissors and cut the end too. All right, yes, even my scissors get an alcohol spritz. And we're gonna get our bag. I'm gonna cut the side that is not down yet, you know, doesn't have it in the, and I'm gonna kind of cut it small because these jars, the mouth of the jar is a little small as well. I need to sharpen my scissors, goodness. There we go. And we're going to fill these jars. It's nice to have like a washcloth or something down here, a clean washcloth, so when you are putting it in, you can tap it and make sure you or your customer is getting a full bottle of face butter. I hope you have enjoyed this video, this tutorial on how to make face butter, face cream. You can do many variations, but I wanted something really light for the skin, and I am loving it on mine. If you'd like to order some, I ship out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it will be up on the website, thepinkhippieco.com. Please leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Be blessed. Bye.